Okay, so at this point in your app, you're ready to. Okay, at this point in your app, we've created our recipe app. You've made some changes, and you're ready to deploy to Heroku. So that's what we'll do now. We'll walk through the steps to deploy to Heroku, and then the main thing we're going to do is we're going to set up image file storage. So the difficult thing about Rails apps is that image files, we're using the carrier wave gem, as we looked at in video 4 on how to do that. It's fairly easy to manage when we're using our local file storage. But when we're putting our things up to Heroku, we need to actually use some external file storage. So we'll use Amazon Web Services, it's specifically Amazon S3. They've got 12 months of free tier access, so you'll be able to do this for free, provided that your app doesn't get millions of users and people are uploading millions of images. You'll never have to pay for this. So there's really no sort of monetary there's no monetary cost for you to set this up. So the first thing we'll do is, as we did in the survey app video, we will deploy to we'll deploy to Heroku first by changing our database files so that we've got everything set up for Heroku. So what we'll do is we'll jump into our app and we'll go into, let me just close all these folders. We'll go into app. And actually, no, I lied. We'll go into the gem file. So let's go into the gem file. And what you'll notice now is we've got that SQLite. We've got to move that SQLite 3 gem into our development group. So this is the same exact thing we did in the last video, or I'm sorry, in the survey app video. So we'll move the SQLite and then we'll create a group for production. So I just created a production group, so a group :production do, and then we'll put some gem files in that. We're just basically saying if this is our production server, which Heroku is our production server, we should use specific gems that are not used in the development server or environment. We'll use the gem Postgres, so gem PG, and then we'll use the gem Rails 12-factor. Okay, so Heroku needs these two gems for our database to be compatible with Heroku's web server. So what we'll do is we will put those are the changes we need to make to our gem file. We'll jump back into our terminal, and I'll blow this up for you. I'm going to change directories into my app, recipe_db. Now that we're in my app, we're going to do a bundle install. And so you should see a few changes. We should see specifically, where is it? Or actually, we won't see this because we're on our development server. So never mind. So we've done our bundle install. We're ready to set up Heroku. Okay, so we're going to move out of our app and we're going to deploy to Heroku. Our image uploads won't work yet. We have to do some work to get our image uploads to work. But what we'll do now is we'll just create a new Heroku app. So we're going to do Heroku create. That creates a new Heroku app. And this is the URL. So it's guarded. Mine is guardedcliffs86498.herokuapp.com. Yours is going to be something a little bit different. We're not going to worry about changing that quite yet. What we're going to do is we're going to connect GitHub to our Heroku app. So this is the exact same process we did in the last survey app video. So git remote-v. So that connects your Git account to the Heroku app. And then we're going to do git push Heroku master. Let's see if Okay, it says everything up to date. I actually need to, since I already connected this app to test it out, I actually need to add one more bit of code. Let me go find that real quick. Okay, so what I did is I just connected my GitHub repo to my new app. I had previously connected it to an old app that I created that I was using to test the image upload portion of this video. So I just created a new app, and I'm connected to my new app now. I should be able to git push Heroku. Actually, you may need to do this too. I need to do a git add, git commit, and I'm going to just call this initial. I'm going to call this initial Heroku deployment, and I'm just going to do a git push. And then I'm going to do git push Heroku master. So this is creating the initial Heroku app. And we're just going to let this run for a second here. Compressing. Usually when you get to compressing, that's a good sign. That means it's compiled everything, and you should be good. So verifying deploy done, that's a good thing. So what we'll do now is I will do a Heroku run rake db migrate. So the command is Heroku run, and then you're just doing a rake db migrate. So again, this is our initial commit. We haven't yet set up our tables in our database for our new database. So we'll let that run. Okay, so that's good. There it goes. And then I'm going to rename my app. So we're going to do Heroku apps :rename. And then I'm just going to, in quotes, rename my app. So I'm going to call this Lamb's Recipes. So let's see. Then we're going to do Heroku open. And there it is, lambsrecipes.herokuapp.com. I can add a thing, I can add ingredients. You don't have to do this. And it will save, and everything should work except for image uploads. So when we upload an image now, it'll upload, but it won't stay uploaded. So if we right click and say copy image address and then paste it into the browser, it's saving to our Heroku server. And Heroku is nice. It'll let you upload things for, I think, 30 minutes at a time, but then it'll delete any sort of image uploads off of your server, off of their server. So what we want to do now that we've got our app all set up is we want to, instead of uploading our images to Heroku, we want to upload our images to Amazon S3, which again is cloud file storage. So the next thing we'll do is we'll just set that up. Okay, so once you've created an account, go ahead and click the top right so you're just kind of in the same spot as me. And we're going to walk through a few fairly simple processes, but what we're going to do is we're going to go into services and we're going to go into S3. So under storage is S3. We're going to create a new bucket. And I'm just going to create, I already have a bucket created, but I'm going to create a new bucket called recipes. You can call it whatever you want. I'm just going to keep the region US East, and then I'm going to click next. Oh, so that already exists. Recipes lamb. I'm going to call it, or actually I'm going to call it Lamb's Recipes, since it's the same name as my app. Okay, so set permissions. I'm just going to manage. Do not grant public read access. Okay, I'm going to grant public read access. And I'm going to grant Amazon S3 log delivery group write access. I don't know exactly what that means, but I know I want public read access. I want the public to be able to read files off of this bucket. So we'll click next. So let me just refresh. So we want to manage public permissions, grant public read access, and then manage system permissions, grant S3 log delivery group. Okay, click next. We're good here, we're good here. We're going to create our bucket. Great. So now that we've created our bucket, we don't really have to do anything else with our bucket at this moment. But the next thing I want us to do is I want us to go into services and then IAM. Services and then IAM. So this is the IAM, Identity and Access Management Portal. We have to do a few things in our identity, our IAM. So we have to first create a user. So we're going to go to users and then we're going to click add user. And I'm going to create a username. You can call this whatever. I'm just going to keep them all consistent to Lamb's recipes. We want programmatic access and we want AWS Management Console access, and then whatever password you want. Save my password. So I'm going to, you won't have a group yet, so you'll have to create a group. So let's create a group. I'm going to call this Lamb's Recipes, again, just to keep it consistent. So I want to add my user to my group. Scroll down. So I'm adding Lamb's Recipes to Lamb's Recipes. I'm going to click Review, Next, and then I'm going to create my user. Okay. So this user, you're going to be able to get access keys based on this user. But before we get access keys, we got to do a few things. So what we want to do is we want to go into our new user that we just created, and we want to add a policy, attach a policy to this user. So I'm going to add permissions, and I'm going to attach existing policies directly, and I'm going to search for Amazon S3, and we want full access, the full access policy. Okay, so that's what we want. That's good. So once we find that, we want to click the checkbox, Amazon Full Access, and then click Next, and then click Add Permissions. Okay, so finally we're going to go back into users. We're going to go into Lamb's Recipes, or whatever your username is, and I'm going to go into Security Credentials. And I'm going to create an access key. So I'm not going to show these, but I'm going to download them. And I'm going to pull this off the screen so no one can see my access keys. But you should be able to download a CSV file, which will give you your access keys in a comma-separated values file. So save that somewhere safe, because we're going to need those keys again. Okay, so we're kind of done. We're set up for Amazon S3. Now we have a whole bunch of other stuff to do. So let's close out of our management console. And let's continue on. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is we have to now that we have our keys, our Amazon S3 keys, we have to, actually no, we have to go back into our app. Let's go back into our app. And let's set up Carrier Wave to work with Amazon S3. So to do that, we need to add 2 gem files to our gem file. So we need to add fog, actually just one, fog AWS, which is a gem file that allows us to connect Carrier Wave to Amazon Web Services. So we'll do fog AWS, then we'll do bundle install. Okay, so we added our fog AWS. Now we just need to do 2 quick things on the setup. Let's go to config and initializers. So config and initializers. And I want you to right-click the initializers folder and click New File. Right-click the initializers folder and click New File. Then you're going to copy and paste the code on the course tutorial website. And then you're going to save as carrierwave.rb. Okay? So what we're going to do here basically is we're saying when we're on our development server, these are all the login credentials for Amazon Web Services. We don't want to type them into this file because once you push this to GitHub, that's public information. You don't want to give out your key and your secret access code. So we'll set that in the command line. We'll set that in the terminal. Okay. So that's the first thing we have to do. And then the second thing we have to do is we have to close out our config folder, open your app folder, go to uploaders, go to image uploader. And you're going to just delete everything in here. And we're going to change our storage type to fog. And so since we're running that fog gem, we'll be able to use our image upload via the fog gem, which connects Heroku to Amazon Web Services. So that's what the fog gem is doing. So I think that's it. Just those 2 changes. So we're going to jump back into our terminal. We're going to do a git add. We're going to do a git commit. And we'll do, I'll just say added fog and carrier wave. Can I spell it? .rb. And I'm going to push. Okay, before we push to Heroku now though, you're probably wondering what about the secret access codes that I've generated? And we're going to have to do that. So to do that, we're going to have to do a few setup things in Heroku, or in the command line. So we'll do Heroku config :set. So we're going to set some configuration. And the first thing we're going to set is our S3 key. So I'm going to pull this out of the window so you can't see my S3 key, but right after, with no space, right after your equal sign, you should paste in your S3 access key ID. It should be in all caps and it should be, I don't know, 13 or 15 characters. You should see after you've done that, it should say S3_key : and then it should repeat what you just entered. Okay, so we're going to do that. Now we're going to do Heroku config set. And then our variable is S3_secret. So S3_secret equals, and then after equal sign, you're going to paste in your secret key. Again, I'm going to pull it out. And these are the keys that you should have generated the CSV file for. Paste it in. And it should, again, just repeat to you S3_secret, and it should repeat the long secret key that you just entered. And then we want to do Heroku config :set S3_region. And our region is something that I didn't explain to you. So let's do that. Let me pull up my Amazon S3 again. Where is it? There we go. So if you go into your Amazon Web Services account and go into your S3 again, you should be able to see when you click on your region, or when you click on the bucket that you created, it'll say in the browser US-East-1. So that's our region. I wonder if that changed. I used to be US East 2. Interesting. Okay. Anyways, US-East-1. So we're going to set our S3 region as US to East 1. And then we're going to set our bucket. So we're going to do Heroku config set S3_bucket. And we're going to just put our bucket name. So my bucket name was Lamb's Recipes. And again, it'll repeat to you, like, here's the bucket that you created, Lamb's Recipes. Okay, so we've set our access key ID, our secret key, our region, and our bucket name. We're ready to go. So we're ready to push to Heroku. So we're going to do git push Heroku master. We're going to wait and let this go. Okay, so that worked. I'm going to Heroku open again. And let's see if we can't get, and you can see that the image got removed from the Heroku server already, even since we put it up there. But let's see if we can add an image. We've actually got remove image all set up, which is great. So let's remove our old image. And let's add this image back in. We'll just use this logo. All right, that's one of my clients' logos. Now if we go to copy image address and we go into our new URL, we can see that our URL is an Amazon Web Services URL, which is great, right? So we've got a permalink that's connected to Amazon Web Services. So we've got our image now connected to Amazon in a way that we didn't have before. So that's it. Once you've done that, you can move on to the next part of the project, which is either front-end design or back-end development, adding functionality to your app. That's it.